Hello, all, and welcome back to Storytime with Aunt Becky. Here I am to share with you another story. This one is a candy cane book. You know the little golden books. This has a little candy cane stripe down the side, and they shows on the back the 8 titles that you can find. This book is called The Christmas Mouse. You know, in the famous Christmas poem, "'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse." Well, this is about a mouse family, and it doesn't really have an author, but the contributing writer is Carolyn Quattrocki, and that will be in the description. So, welcome back. It looks like some of the stories on the back of this book that you can find in this series, the Candy Cane books, are Jingle Bells, "'Twas the Night Before Christmas, The Magic Toy Shop, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, The Little Drummer Boy, The Nutcracker, and The 12 Days of Christmas, as well as The Christmas Mouse. Walter Whiskers was a sad mouse. This big house was his home. In fact, he had lived in a mouse hole in this very same house since he was a tiny mousekin himself. Oh no, it's for sale. What's he gonna do? His little mouse hole had always been a warm, cozy place, and there was always plenty to eat, at least up until just a few months ago when the family that was living in the big house moved out. Walter lived with his wonderful wife, Wilma Whiskers, and their 4 mousekin children, Willie, Warner, Wanda, and tiny Winifred. They used to be warm and happy because the house they lived in was heated and there were always scraps of food to find on the kitchen floor. But now Walter and the Whiskers family were growing more and more hungry and cold with each day that the house stood empty. To top it all off, Christmas Day was on the way. What would Walter to do? There's his family. There's Walter and his wife Wilma. And there is Willie. Maybe this one's Willie. Warner. Wanda. And tiny Winifred is in the chair. They've got little acorn caps to use for dishes. Then, just 2 short days before Christmas, something happened in their house. Walter and Wanda woke up that morning to hear banging and shouting right outside of their door. Walter ran to the mouse hole door and looked out. What do you think he saw? A new family was moving into the big house. Rugs and chairs and a large green sofa were being carried into the living room. As Walter watched, 3 children ran in, laughing and looking around excitedly. There's the big green couch, and there's Walter looking out of his mouse hole. Walter, Wanda, and the Mousekins were delighted to have a new family moving into their house because they would have food to eat. Now there will be plenty of food for all of us, and our mouse hole will be warm again. Excuse me, Walter told his family. But Walter did not know what a terrible commotion all that furniture moving would make. The mouse hole shook from top to bottom with the noise, and that night there was still no food for the little mice. They're covering up their ears. It's a terrible noise. But the very next morning, the Whiskers family woke up to heavenly smells and nice warm air coming into the mouse hole. Today was Christmas Eve, and the new family was getting ready for their celebration. That afternoon, Walter sniffed a different smell. He peeked out of the mouse hole. Then he called Wanda and the little Mousekins to come and look. The family was putting up a beautiful Christmas tree. Looks like they got some gingerbread men, candy canes, the colored baubles. Got a star on top. And there's bows. That night, as soon as the children had hung up their stockings and gone to bed, Walter and his family crept out into the living room to look around. They saw the most amazing sight. There, running all all the way around the Christmas tree was a tiny toy train. It was just their size. And beside the train was a tiny toy village. There was even a mouse-sized house with a tiny Christmas tree in it. They could hardly believe their eyes. I think this is the house that they're looking at. Some of the pictures go around. My husband and I have a train around our tree as well. But I don't think it's mouse size. I think it's too small. "Let's have a Christmas party of our own," Walter said. At that, Wanda ran back into the mouse hole to get some beautiful beads she was saving. They hung the beads on the tiny tree to decorate it. The little mousekins strung some apple seeds together to make more decorations. Wanda even cut a scrap of gold paper into a tiny star to put on the top of the tree. Now they had their very own Christmas tree. There's Wanda. She's cut out the star. She's showing her little sister. There's the colored beads they've hung on the tree, and the apple seeds, and the little house. Then Walter Whiskers gathered crumbs from beneath the table where the family had eaten their Christmas Eve dinner. What a feast the Whiskers family had! Finally, Walter said they must have one last treat to celebrate their good fortune, a ride on the train. So Walter drove the toy train while Wanda and the little mousekins piled into the cars behind the engine, and they rode all the way around the Christmas tree. They're having a good time, aren't they? Little rocking horse on the tree, you can see there. The next morning, the children of the new family ran downstairs to see their stockings. They looked at the train and the toy village. The tiny tree had Christmas decorations on it, and little paw prints led to the train. Their father smiled and whispered, "It looks like someone else enjoyed our Christmas too. Why, I believe we have our very own Christmas mouse." And there's the little paw prints. There's a little tree. They're all excited. Deep inside his tiny mouse hole, Walter Whiskers smiled as he slept in his warm bed. He was dreaming of last night's Christmas treat and of the many wonderful Christmases to come. There he is. He's snug as a mouse under a blanket could be. And that is the story of the Christmas mouse. This is a shorter one, so I hope you have enjoyed it more. And I hope to share some more Christmas stories with you before the season is over. We've got about half the month left, so I've got a few more stories I can share with you. So I hope to see you again next time. Bye.